Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Space Engineers. And today we're going to be looking at a frigate design. At least I think it's a frigate, or just a very over-armed corvette, maybe. Not sure. Um, yeah, that's all I got for it. I don't have a name for it yet. I don't have a faction that it belongs to, so I'm just going to do a tour of it, and I'll have to think of the details later. I also did scale it down into kind of a shuttle design, which I'm going to look at first because I like the landing gear that I made for it. As you can see, it has hinge landing gear, port and starboard, and then a ramp in the front. And then the ramp just goes into the hold, and then there's the cockpit. And then these doors, one goes back here to unfinished space, and these two side doors just go to ladders that are part of the landing gear. And if we actually go up here, we take off, turn these off, and then we press that key, everything retracts, and it's very, very flush and smooth. Perfect. And then we'll toss those back out. I still haven't figured out what is colliding and causing the jerking motion, and at this point I've kind of just given up on figuring that out. And then a nice smooth descent and land. Alright, that's the small version. And then here's the big version. So this is 160 meters long, 147 meters wide, and I believe 17 meters tall. Looks like 17. We've got two engine pods on either side, or I should say one engine pod, one on each side, as well as a pair of pass-through hangars for a small gunboat or a large starfighter of some sort, or shuttles, or some sort of modular slide-in pod system. There is a dorsal and ventral, as well as port and starboard connectors. These are the front main airlocks to get into the ship. Armament consists of 12 triple-barreled small grid railguns, 8 double-barreled Gatling turrets, 8 artillery cannon, 8 artillery turrets, and then 12 assault cannon turrets. And then, of course, there's another 8 large grid railguns in the front. It was just a little bit too small for railgun turrets, I thought, so I just put them in the nose, even though that's not the most effective place for them in this type of ship. But we're going to go inside now and have a look around. Actually, I'll just go to the full specs first. So 160 by 147 by 27 meters, not 17. It has a crew of roughly 120 with a 1:9 ratio for commissioned officers to non-commissioned officers, which I based off of real-world naval warships. And then its weapon stats, which we just went through. And then there are some antennas that are just pointing out at weird angles because I was trying to do some texture stuff. They look okay. I might change them. But we're going to head through the airlock and go from there. So inside the airlock we have double outer heavy doors. Triple outer heavy doors, 1, 2, 3, and then light doors on the inside, even though really there's no difference in terms of gameplay. And then some lockers inside, as well as a viewing area, which is also protected. Moving in from there, we come into what is the commissioned officers' quarters area. Up front is just the wardroom / lounge. So it has its own head facility, little kitchen area, a bunch of plants around it, nice desk to work on, couches, entertainment, blah blah blah, a couple of skylights, and unfortunately the only way I could get lighting in here was either right here from the kitchen or on the floor, because there's no way to attach a light to this bit right here, unfortunately. And then the airlock is of course mirrored both sides. And then we're going to go into one of the officers' cabins, so pretty simple. Storage, bed, couch, entertainment center, and ensuite. And there are 8 of those on this deck, and no, 6 of those on this deck. I don't remember, 3? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 of them on this deck right here. And they're all the same. Moving forward, actually it'd be moving aft, I should say, sorry. Moving aft, there's just a dispenser, and then a set of stairs, and we're going to go up first, all the way up. And this is the flight bridge. So a flight bridge is not the main bridge for when the ship is in battle. The flight bridge is just the maritime bridge. It's for peacetime activities, general patrol, and the event of hostile action, the crew would go down to the battle bridge, which is located roughly back down there. But you've got your pilot, captain, the display area, a couple of consoles around, some greebling with the programmable block, and more lockers, some more skylights. And then moving back from here, we've got some heads, and that helps with both the flight bridge and the mess hall. And I perhaps went a little overboard on the mess hall, but considering a ship like this is going to be out on patrol or on action for months at a time, having a crew facility where the crew can come and relax in a large open space with a good view, natural light when available, is very important. 2 dispensers up front, some plants, lots of tables, couches set up by the viewing areas, which have a decent view. Unfortunately, there aren't any vanilla window blocks that match these bridge window blocks that I could cover over this area with, unfortunately. Then moving to the back, there is just the kitchen area. I think that's just called the kitchen. The mess is the mess, and the kitchen is the kitchen, I believe. But just your basic Space Engineers kitchen setup for large commercial production. You got your stoves, you got your sink, you got your serving area, and another dispenser in the back. Alright, going back to the stairs, we're going to go down, take a left, and go forward again. We have the XO's office, or quarters, and this is just slightly larger than the standard officers' quarters, having a own little kitchen and some bookshelf with a desk. And the lighting in here seems to have been messed up. That's probably my fault. Then across from that on the port side is the captain's, which is the exact same aside from a slightly raised ceiling. But otherwise it's exactly the same as the XO's. And then we have the captain and XO's private lounge / office area. This was originally going to be the mess before the crew bloomed up to about 100 and whatever it is. So I turned this into just the captain and XO's room. Well, they have their rooms. This is their office lounge. Not perfectly set up because just the limitations of what blocks are available in vanilla, and I didn't want to do any modded blocks in this build. But it's pretty good, pretty nice. They have a decent view, and it's simple but effective. Moving towards the aft again, and I have to turn my light on because I don't have the hallways lit up. We're going to come down. That's where we came from, the officer's deck right back there. And we're going to go back into the battle bridge now. So the battle bridge is in the center of the ship, slightly elevated over the main line. Basic, you got your helm station, control stations are on the side, emergency survival kit, the armory for the bridge. I should add armories to other parts of the ship as well. And then seats for the commanding crew or commanding officers around the console table. And yeah, pretty simple basic setup. And then the AI blocks are also down here. I should probably put the remote control block somewhere in at some point. Alright, going back into the stair area, we're going to head down. We're going to go into the medical bay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cryo chambers in this area. And then a basic diagnostic and treatment area, and then the 8 inpatient beds, plus a head for them. Then we're going to go back out and go down. And if we follow this around, we're going to come to the gym. And the gym is surrounded by a running track, which it's not quite as curved as I would like it to be. It's pretty sharp, but the lack of blocks to enable that, unfortunately. And then it's just a small little gym area. It's got some heads, drink dispenser, 2 couches, a little kitchen area for your protein shakes, and then bookshelf to store all your exercise manuals or whatever else. Alright, and exiting from here, we're going to go back into the main corridor area again, and see, we came from here, we're going to go down, and let's see, which way do I need to go first for the best? I guess we'll go this way. So this is the primary NCO wing, both this way and that way. There's a couple more. There's some additional head facilities because each of the NCO cabins has 3 bunks in it. And there's 1 en-suite, but I added a couple extras in the aft and in the bow as well as vending and drink dispensing. But again, this is just 3 bunks, an en-suite, and the couch. And that's repeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times on each side, so there's 14 here. And then again, additional facilities. And then if we head into the aft past the stairs, there's an additional, I believe, 4 of these. Yes, 1 and 2 on each side. And then this comes out into the hangar area. We'll go to that next. There, actually, won't go to that next. There's a couple other things to look at first, but so there's 4 more of. Actually, I think there's. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yep, 4 of these back here. I have not toured my own ship enough, and I'm getting lost, dazed, and confused. It's also hard because there's a limited number of space to add any sort of signage, and my memory is not the greatest sometimes. But we're going to come downstairs now. And we're going to go in, let's see, which way is the front? Okay. The front is this way, so if we come back here, this is just a additional cryostasis room. Just a couple rows of cryopods, nothing too fancy. And then if we come back around this way, this is just, is there a gap there I saw? No. This is just another storage room, and also where I happen to put the gravity generator. And the storage room has an access door into the bow of the ship for the rail cannons and anything else that's up here. Oop. Let's get the stairs. And then I tossed in some batteries where there's some open spaces. Alright, coming back into the stairwell area, we're going to go down again. And this is another set of, I believe, 14 or 12 NCO cabins. I believe it's 14. It should be mirrored exactly the same as above. And then this also has the expanded hygiene and head facilities up front. And again, there's the vending, dispenser, and hygiene additions. And then back here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 NCO cabins, and then 2 more commissioned officers' cabins. And the commissioned officers are the pilots for the embarked gunships or fighters or whatever. And then from here, I believe, if we go back up to here and go this way. So there's 2 ways to get into the hangar facility, the one below and the one here. The one below just comes in right in the middle, I believe. Yes, wide in the middle. And the middle level access goes either down or up. So going up, and we're just going to head around. It's a lot of just empty corridor space essentially, but it brings you right into the hangar area. And there's a lower and upper access as well as a couple viewports for checking it out. And then this just terminates here. Oh, the underside. Very plain, very much symmetrical. The only difference is it doesn't have that center line ridge extending from the bit right there going forward. None of the windows. That's the ridge and all the windows. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Get out of my way, turret. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. I'm still working on the backstory, the name, and color scheme, and other minor detailing. Have to fill out the rest of the internal volume with the engineering stuff, power generation, hydrogen capacity, and all that good jazz. And I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.